Murder charges against a Pittsford man have been dismissed. We want you to take a look at the pictures that were taken inside the courtroom earlier today, and this was just moments after the ruling was announced for Charlie Tan. This was a surprise move by the judge this morning after a confrontation with the prosecutor.
Charles Tan, of course, accused of shooting and killing his father in their Pittsford home last February. This is his mugshot taken after he was arrested. Since then, a lot of people have been talking about following this case. So we have team coverage for you right now. Brett Davidson has reaction from attorneys. Chris Horvath spoke with Charles Tan moments after leaving court. And Rebecca Fath live in Pittsford, where many neighbors have previously rallied behind Charles Tan.
So we begin with Brett Davidson. Brett?
Well, in a word, it was stunning. I don't think anyone in the courtroom anticipated what was going to happen this morning, citing a lack of evidence tying Charlie Tan to the murder of his father. Judge James Pompiano this morning dismissed the charges, putting an end to this case, but not before nearly having the prosecutor arrested for challenging the judge.
I would look forward to is having you looking for any murder trial in the state with that quantum of evidence leading to a decision made by a court equivalent to what happened today. You won't find one.
No, we're not surprised. Certainly when a judge reserves this and after a jury has left the building, you know that they're certainly thinking about it, and what he said was absolutely right. There was no forensic evidence that connected our client to this case, and all the other evidence was equivocal at best.
An elated Charlie Tan emerged from the courtroom ready to speak publicly for the first time before being ushered away by his attorneys. His friends left the courtroom in tears. It was anticipated that at today's hearing, Judge James Pompiano would schedule a date for a retrial after the first one ended in a hung jury. But in a shocking turn of events, Pompiano instead granted a motion by the defense to dismiss the murder charge. The DA's office says that essentially bars them from retrying Tan on charges related to his father's death.
Have a good day, brother.
Inside the courtroom, it got contentious between the judge and prosecutor Bill Gargan, and even led to some shouting. Gargan interrupted the judge at one point while he was in the middle of his ruling, and Pompiano threatened to have him handcuffed and taken out of the courtroom if he didn't stop talking. When given a chance to speak, Gargan accused the judge of having amnesia about the evidence, where Charlie Tan told an investigator he, quote, had to do it. He was going to kill my mother. The judge called the amnesia quip offensive and indignant and gave Gargan a chance to take it back, but he refused.
Because amnesia means you've forgotten things. And when it appeared that the court had not utilized other evidence in the record, I wanted to point that out.
I think there was a lot of things that were surprising to the prosecution throughout this entire case, throughout the trial. You saw that during the closing arguments. You've seen it every step of the way. I don't often like to congratulate ourselves, but we were one step ahead of them every single step of the way in this case.
Pompiano was just elected to a 14-year term to the state Supreme Court. Asked about the timing of his decision, prosecutor Gargan would not comment. As for now, reopening this case and trying to prosecute someone else for the murder of James Tan, Gargan says he hasn't given any thought to that as of yet. Rebecca and Pat.
Charlie Tan now free. Brett, the big question, what is he going to be up to over the next several days?
Well, it's still up in the air at this point. He was likely preparing for a second murder trial, but his attorney says he's probably going to return to college. You might recall he was a student at Cornell at the time that he was arrested.
All right, some amazing things happening today. Brett Davidson live for us now at the Hall of Justice. Now,